Hey guys, I'm back. This is going to be the second part of our religious victory playthrough, so let's just get to it. Should probably upgrade this warrior. We'll get pottery, get irrigation ready, because it's not likely we're going to be running into state workforce anytime soon, and this is the civic that we want to get before we start chopping on our pyramid. So we'll put some science into pottery and one. Okay, one turn until we finish over the empire. I believe we would want to improve the diamonds and chop out the forest immediately, so that this worker gets out faster, and then it can improve here, and this worker can come down and improve the amber, and maybe we can get a craftsmanship boost. We'll have to think about it, but that's the most optimal movement right now. So the diamond first, the forest second, and then the amber last. And this worker will improve this stone immediately. And we can consider down the line whether we want to leave craftsmanship, block it until we get the Eureka to let the Eureka complete it, or if we want to hard pass and get into state workforce. Depends. We'll think about that later. First we'll explore China a little bit. So the last video, I think we talked about where the cities are settled. So we already found another city here. You see the borders. And there's going to be another city here and another city here. So what we're going to do is we're going to explore up here. There is a volcano here. Check out this city. And then come down and check out this city to see how the landscape looks like around China. One of the reasons that we want to check out the landscape around China is because China is really good at getting the ancient and classical wonders. So we want to take a look at if China has any desert tiles, so that they might start just hammering out the pyramid. If they do have desert tiles and we do see them start hammering out the pyramid, then we might not even bother making a pyramid here, and we might just put the production into something else, like a fast government plaza and a fast ancestral hall or something like that. So we're going to take a look at what's happening in the borders within China and see if they have any desert tiles that they might be working. This game, the pyramid isn't super necessary because our cities are so fat, so much resources around all our cities. We'll still take a look. We send the delegation to them. Okay. Pass the turn. So we have our first governor.
The sea seemed to roll back.
Vesuvius. Actually, didn't really want to discover this, to be honest. If I was a bit more careful, I probably wouldn't have gone this way. It will be much better to save this for the next era. So that was a mistake. Oh, there's nothing we can do about it now. But anyway, back to our first governor. I think our first governor will have to be Magnus. We could get Amani and consider getting suzerain status of any of these three cities. Mexico City is useless for now. This is useless mostly throughout the game. This is quite useful, but we don't have a lot of worker charges to spend on colossal heads just yet. So, and we don't have any shrines to take advantage of the second level bonus. So there's really no point in getting Suzerain of La Venta, and we already have more than enough air score to get into Golden Age. So the reason that I want to get Magnus instead of any other governor is so that if we wait until State Workforce to get Magnus, Magnus will take 5 turns to get to Bellum. So it's 5 turns of wasted time that I could be chopping out the pyramid with the Corvée, right? So if I get Magnus now, as soon as I unlock State Workforce, I can start chopping out the pyramid. So that's no time wasted. And then after we finish chopping out the pyramid, we can move Magnus to maybe the city or Rio de Janeiro and start, chopping out these resources for something. Maybe a shrine or maybe some great holy site prayers for our religion. Either way, the faster we get Magnus, we use up Magnus in the city and move it somewhere else, the more we can do with that Magnus. And the faster we can cycle our workers throughout our civilization to start chopping out our infrastructure. So getting Magnus out now, I think, is the correct call. So we're going to do that. The next thing we're going to do is try to get craftsmanship. We already have the Pantheon, so we don't really need it. This city looks like it could stand to buy out a bunch of these tiles. So what we're going to do first is going to sell our open waters. We'll save the game, actually. Save the game. Actually, we'll save the game. We'll sell out our open waters to polices, see how much they pay us. It's much better if you could to wait until you have a friendly relationship with the open civs before selling open waters, because that gives you much more flat gold. But if you can't, and if you're strapped for cash, then you don't really have a choice. And we are strapped for cash right now because we want to start buying out these tiles before the Kree can expand into them with their traders and whatnot. So I'm gonna do this one. And I think we want this piece of wood here too. And the next thing we're going to try to get is this wine. Getting the wine. Getting the wine would be good. Yeah, we're going to use this encampment and perhaps this goodie hut to fund it. Okay, seems like there's nothing here. We'll bust the fog and then start moving this way. Maybe check what's down here. Okay, so we're finished with the next builder. This is a special circumstance in that we could consider hammering out another settler. But usually stopping at 3 cities in the ancient era is more than adequate, I would say. You don't need many more cities, even if you're not playing Brazil. Having 3 cities and 3 productive cities is the first wave of settling you're going to do. The next wave you're going to do is going to be with a government plaza and ancestral hall. At Magnus, you'll be chopping out everything around that city to turn it into settlers. And within 2 to 3 turns, you can have 4 settlers out, just from chopping and counting your hammers. But since we're Brazil, we don't care about settling that many cities. And we also don't have to wait until Ancestral Hall is out to take advantage of these tiles here. So this is a special circumstance that we could consider hammering out a settler. Usually you would go for either a shrine or a holy site prayer next. Either a shrine or a holy site prayer. We'll buy out this tile and buy out this tile next by selling the diamonds. I think we're gonna go for a shrine. We'll go for a shrine. Oops. And take a look at what's around in Chinese cities. So far we haven't seen a desert tile, which is really good. And they only have 4 cities. So, one more city down here, and that's it. And if this city doesn't have any desert tiles, and the capital doesn't have any desert tiles, then we're pretty much safe. Okay. Able to declare friendship. Yep. Oh. Oh my god. Can this game get any better? Can this game get any better? I think Mexico City wants a trade route, but I definitely didn't anticipate that we're gonna get a trader from Goody Hut, so I didn't bother breaking the fog to Mexico City. So I think what I'm gonna do is send the trader to Curitiba and see if I can send a trade route to La Venta. We're on pretty much on the right edge of the map, so the faster we get our trade routes to, this section of the map, the faster our religious units can travel. So actually getting a few early trade routes is quite important. Might even consider, settling a later city over here, and use this city as a pivoting point to send, our missionary units, apostles into the side of the map and make even further trade routes. Right? So I think what we're gonna do is, assuming that the city doesn't get settled, which is a tall order, we'll plan for a pit stop over here. We can even get some high adjacency holy sites. We could even consider putting the city over here. We put the city over here. We block off one piece of road through which enemy religious units can access this side of the map. So we don't even have to worry about defending our religion. We just have to wash Scotland and we have to wash Crete, and that will be it. And we can safely spam missionary religious units and throw them to the west side of the map, and don't have to worry about defending our empire religiously. So putting these here and putting some sort of religious unit like a missionary over here would be enough to safeguard us. So we'll plan this for now. What? Why did my worker go back here? It'll load. That's really weird. I think I might have been trying to illustrate like the worker movement and forgot that I actually clicked that place. But that was not supposed to happen.
Beasts of the Stone Age. To man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest. From this early cradle of civilization on to the stars. Your people look to you, Emperor Pedro II, to lead Brazil onto the world stage. Use your reputation as a patron of artists, scientists, and engineers to draw the greatest minds to our fertile home.
Cancel the movement. Good stuff. What do we say we're gonna do? Putting Currituba. Try to declare friendship. So the Kree doesn't have a luxury resource, so that means they'll pay. Usually they will pay a lot for it, but there are a few civs that pay an extraordinary amount of flat gold for particular things. Canada and Sweden pay a premium on diplomatic favor, and Robert the Bruce and I think the Aztec pay a premium on luxury resources. So usually you wouldn't be able to get this kind of a deal earlier on, but because we have Robert the Bruce in our game, we can get a lot more gold out of them. So we use this gold to buy out the wine. I think I'll have to take a look at how much chopping this tree would be worth. Let's take a look. Screw it. You know what? Our start is so phenomenal, I'm not gonna bother counting beans. Usually you want to know how much chopping the tree or chopping a resource into a project is going to, how much hammers you're going to be putting into the project by chopping the tree. The reason is to avoid overflow. So right now we have 14 out of 54 production done for this build, and if we chop the tree and it ends up being more than, let's say, 40, any augmented overflow, if we decide to use something like Ilcum, which is 30% production toward builders, that augmented overflow gets wiped. This is like a new mechanic that they introduced, I think, in Gathering Storm. For a more detailed description of how to chop efficiently, I made a post on Reddit. I'm going to link the video below. You guys can go take a look. I didn't find out this mechanic. Some Chinese SIP players in the SIP community actually found this out, so I don't take any credit for it, but I do make use of the mechanic from time to time. So I think with Magnus, we're definitely going to get more than 40, so it will be worthwhile actually to put some production into a monument. And we'll do that. It honestly seems like we're not going to have enough turns to get the Eureka for craftsmanship, no matter how we do it. So we might consider just hard passing it. We're producing a lot more culture than I thought we would. We have one culture tile here, cultural city-state, so we're actually producing a ton of culture just passively. So I think just passing craftsmanship would be fine. In which case, I think I still would chop this out first. We'll move this here, we'll chop it out. We're just not going to block this and go into mysticism or anything like that. The reason we're going to rush through this is because we want to get state workforce up and running as soon as possible, not only for Corvée, but also for the government plaza. And I think we we should probably start researching masonry for now. It's gonna take no time for us to get state workforce. 13 turns to get state workforce, and we want to make sure that we have the pyramids ready by then. So what we're gonna do is go into masonry, cut this out, use this builder to improve this rock here, and then as soon as state workforce is done, we're gonna start chopping. Get to chopping. And I think right now we can actually spend some money to buy out these tiles. These are the tiles that we're going to be chopping for pyramid. This mountain keeps exploding. Just keeps exploding. Okay. So we do have a mountain momentum. There might be an encampment over here. And the next tile we're going to buy is probably going to be this, these elephants here. Next tile. We'll keep working the 2-2 tiles just to make sure that we have our production up. We're going to resist working these high food tiles, because we're going to grow anyway with this. So let's take a look at what's wrong in China. They're not warring with anyone, so they're being hit by a lot of barbs, actually. We'll move this scout up here next turn. Oh. Deserts, it seems like. So we don't have to be afraid of getting pyramid. Okay, we met another civ. I didn't want to actually have that happen, but we did. Not much else we can do about it. Unfortunately, we already sold our open borders to China, otherwise we would have a lot more gold than we do now. And we don't have anything luxuries to offer them. Okay. Actually, this map would also be extremely good for a scientific victory, because we have a lot of room. First of all, we have a lot of room to expand. We can definitely get something like 20 cities. Maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we can definitely get something like 15 cities, 16 cities, just on this piece of land alone. And we can also expand to other pieces of land like here. So this map is actually extremely good for a scientific victory. If any of you guys are checking it out, you can also attempt a scientific victory. Lots of things to chop, lots of resources, a bunch of, okay wonders. This is a fantastic wonder. This is an okay wonder that you can make use of. And not lacking fresh water either. A lot of lakes providing fresh water for inland cities. So really great map for anything really. Okay. explore any further. I think this is another civ. Looks like it's Hungary. Hungary. So I'm gonna go with this guy here. I'll park this scout here and discover them after the golden age occurs. Seems like these guys are gonna settle here. So I would want to try to buy out this tile. 68 gold. Buenos Aires. Trade route. They're gonna try to set up here, so they need to move 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 more turns left before we can buy out this this forest tile, so that they don't actually take it. We'll see if we can get 68 gold in 3 turns. But buying out this tile is quite important. Hope we're working. Actually, working more hammers doesn't decrease this turn count by anything, so I guess we'll work the spices. Okay, we finished the shrine. And we could start to produce settler. Let's do that. Let's start to produce the settler. Now another civ. Didn't want to do that. Should have checked the loyalty. Then we wouldn't be able to see. Big mistake. Now we have way too much era score. So I'm actually not sure if we'll be able to get another golden age down the line in the medieval era. It's quite annoying. We'll move our warrior up here to heal. And for the city, I think should have been working this tile for a little longer. Okay, so we're gonna heal the scout. Next turn, I think I'm going to slot in the colonization card, actually, just to get this settler out a little bit faster. See what I can sell for now. Might not be able to buy this. If we're really desperate, actually, we can sell a little bit of per turn gold to one of the friendly cities, friendly civs, and buy this out. So we might consider doing that. Okay, so we're not going to swap this for now. We're going to see if we can sell some return gold. And we need to reach 72. So we need 27. 27. we're not gonna be fighting any barbs anytime soon. So I'll get some production bonus for land units for now. I'm gonna rush state workforce, and we're going to chop out this builder here. Okay. This guy can go up here and improve the rock, and you can go down here and improve. Actually, change of plans. Change of plans. Change of plans. We're not going to need this improved that quickly. So what we can do is we're going to take this builder. We're going to move this builder over here. And take this builder and move this builder down here. And this builder can cut both of these trees. Oh, I suppose. I suppose we wouldn't have enough charges, huh? We actually don't need to get the Eureka for Masonry, because we're not going to get state workforce in 6 turns until 6 turns later. So we actually don't need the Eureka that urgently, right? Even if we do have the Eureka, we can only plop the pyramid down and throw some passive hammers into it, which, to be honest, isn't that much. It's 5. So there's really no point getting the Eureka, from what I can see. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to save the charges on this builder here. We're going to chop these 2 rocks. Leave this builder here to chop these 2 rocks. We'll move this builder down here to chop this piece of wood. When state workforce is completed and masonry is completed, and 2 rocks plus a piece of wood should be enough to complete the pyramid. We'll wait 1 turn if we have to put some passive production into it, but I think that's a better plan, because in that case we save both of our builders, and this builder gets 1 more charge, and this builder gets 1 more charge, and we get 1 extra builder from the pyramid. And then when we move to here to chop, or to here to chop, it becomes that much easier. We have 1 extra charge from the builder. So we're going to deviate a little bit from the plan and not get masonry, or not bother getting masonry. I think you can just sit here. Okay. Let's take a look at Rome. Rome has 2 cities affecting here, so he should have 2 more cities down here. And by the looks of it, he has 4 cities. So if there are 2 cities affecting this city for loyalty, it might be the case. Canada has 2 cities here and 1 city here, and it might be the case that there's 2 cities down here and 1 city here. And if we take a look, he's met 1 extra player, and he's also met 1 extra player. So there's a good chance that if we explore down here, we're going to find another city. It actually might just be Hungary. We already know these two guys recognize this guy, which makes sense because the Roman capital is over here, so it's really close within exploring distance for sure. So that means the other civs might have to be over here somewhere. Anyway, I think we'll pass the turn. You can come down here. Only the Great Bath is finished. Okay, so they did settle over here. Ideally, we want to have this piece of wood as well. That's a really greedy buy. But if we do, we end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of wood. And that's more than enough to chop out a temple and Mahabodhi temple. The temple in the Holy Site district and the Mahabodhi temple over here. Doesn't seem like any other place. We didn't really plan for Mahabodhi temple for our cities, so that's an oversight on my part. But we do have a piece of wood here, unless it gets destroyed by Mount Kilimanjaro. That would be very, very unfortunate. But hopefully that doesn't happen. We're going to go over here. Chop this one, and this one. And I think we should not forget to drop down Holy Site. I think I forgot to do it last turn. So bit of a mistake on my part. We might save Magnus here and use the extra builder that we get from the pyramid to chop out the woods around this city and get the government plaza out. And then we can immediately go back into getting writing to get out our campuses. We'll save this guy for now. Don't have to worry about that. Okay, so we finished the holy site for the city, and we'll have a builder out. And improve the ivory here. Move this guy back here to heal. Sleep for now. Declare friendship with Robert. Maybe give him a flat gold gift. See if he takes it. I think we discovered another city-state. On number 9. It's a heavy chariot. The fact that there's 2 heavy chariot missions, if these were better city-states, like, 2 culture, 2 religious, or 1 culture, 1 religious, I might consider actually chopping out a heavy chariot, but don't really need military, don't really need, it would be nice to have, but we don't absolutely need these city-states, so I'm not gonna bother. Okay, 3 more turns until we can start chopping out the pyramid. Oh, okay. Might be able to take this encampment for free. So free money. If we had land surveyors still in, I would buy out this tile, but we don't. And I really have to consider whether buying it out without the discount is worth it. Signs point to no, but circumstances can change. Sure. Okay, so we ended up eating hungry anyway. Probably shouldn't be putting my scout such a close location. 38 out of 25. Way too much errors. It's not good. We just befriended Robert the Bruce, and we can't sell orders to them for too much, but we could sell it to Rome, I believe. We're spending 28 extra gold. Or 18 extra gold. Sorry, I can't do math. 18 extra gold for this tile. So it'll be as if we clear the encampment for nothing. But I think it's worth it, because we cleared the encampment. If we didn't clear the encampment, I probably would debate whether I should buy this or not. But since we did, might as well do it, right? Go back here to heal. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do is take a look at our government plaza. So right now the government plaza is eating a 40% discount for production. You see here the base cost is 30, but the actual cost is 37. So it's only 37. It's only 7 production more. Whereas if we take a look at our holy site, the base cost is 54, but the actual production that we're putting in is 83. So this holy site is not eating a 40% discount because the discrepancy is really high, but this government plaza is eating a 40% discount. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna place our pyramid down here. Place our pyramid down here. Think about our governor choice. Governor choice. The city doesn't really have a good spot to place the government plaza, otherwise I probably would choose the city instead. We could even wait until this city gets set up and plop down the government district. And after we're finished chopping out the pyramid and the other buildings in the city, maybe move Magnus to the city instead of this one. And then this city's job would just be to chop out the ancestral hall. And ancestral hall and a good holy site. The best holy site for this city would be here. Or here. also be here. These tiles are really good, and I've already taken up one. So I don't really want to take another one. Could be here, then the government plaza will be here. Put this here. The government plaza here. The other thing we could do is get this city to be 4-pop. My original plan was to get the pyramid out, get the city to 4-pop, and drop down the government plaza. In which case, the city is free to make a theater square, or a campus, or later on down the line, make a really good commercial hub. And it will take a few turns for this settler to travel to the city anyway, right? It's gonna take a few turns for this guy to go over here anyway. So it's not as if we couldn't chop out the rice and place the government plaza down for this civ as soon as we finish the pyramid. So I think we're gonna stick with the original plan. We're gonna put the government plaza here. I think the next governor we're gonna use is, yeah, to prevent these tiles or this district from getting hit by the volcano, or getting damaged by the volcano. Mentality, of course. Don't forget to switch to Corvée. Don't forget to switch to Corvée. 64 production each. So let's do some math. 64 times 2 times 1.15, that's 147, minus 47 minus 220 is 73. 73. 51 times 1.5 minus 73 is 14. So we need to put 14 production into pyramids for us to get away with chopping only 2 stone and 1 forest. So I think if we just work the tiles that we have available to us, like this one and this one, then we could get this pyramid out in 2 stones and 2 stones and 1 forest. Sorry. Since we're putting Lian in the city, I think we're gonna put some turns into the shrine and wait for Lian to come and then finish the builder. We're in no hurry to improve this ivory here, so. Let's take a look at our great profit. After this settler, I think we're going to do some holy site prayers. Actually, we could use this city to do some holy site prayers as well. We only really need 1 city to be doing it at any given time. this city is going to take 8 turns to finish it, and this city is going to take 6 turns to finish it. So I think we'll do the shrine, and by the time this finishes the Holy Side Prayer, this city can start doing Holy Side Prayer, and then this guy can go back to doing something else, maybe producing a builder or something. So we are going to get lots of trade routes. We don't need drama and poetry immediately. And we're not going to be making the Oracle, so I think we'll go for Polyphi instead. Just to get Classical Republic a little bit faster. Okay. It's time to go discover some other civs. The civ that was missing is Hungary, so we already discovered them. So that means the rest of the civs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's one more civ somewhere over here that we still have to discover. Oh. These guys have found it. These guys have found the last civ. Where the hell is he? Aren't we at the edge of the map? Is there more land over here? It looks like I made a mistake then. These guys have found the civ. That means there's more land over here. Okay. Well, the game isn't going to lie to us. And none of these civs have discovered the last guy, so it means that it must be to the left of here, or like blocked by the mountains, and in here. So either way, we have to send this scout back to here to find the last civ. Really, really strange.
I thought.
Okay, we're going to get rid of this. Wait a turn. We're not going to finish writing, so we can actually put a few turns into irrigation. Let's do the math again. 64 plus 51. 64 plus 51 times 1.5 plus 80. Okay, so we can get the pyramid out the next turn. Just need to put one more turn of work into it. Let's take a look. $64.51. We are 0.75 production away. So that means we have to wait one more turn. 0.75 production away from completing it this turn. So we wasted 4 production, pretty much. Maybe we can focus on growth a little bit instead. Okay, so let's finish the Abadana. I think this will finish the